So Chris Jericho, we went over this before. $100 for an autograph, $100 for a selfie. I bring this up to contrast what we're going to go through in WWE news, but I bring this up again just to say Cena is selling dinners with him for $25,000, and Triple H meet and greet is $8K. Not even knocking Jericho, but just there's levels right now. So Hologram and Commander are now officially a team in AEW known as, and I'm sorry, I know that Gravity is Bandito's brother. Hologram and Gravity should go together. But anyways, though, Hologram and Commander are now the Lucha Stars. The Lucha Stars, bud. The Lucha Stars. Guys,
Tony Khan.
What kind of Vince McMahon, 2014 name is that? And then Jose the assistant goes, what an uncreative name, right? Right? May as well be called the wrestling team. Yeah. Generic team 1. Just terrible. Now they changed it, which we'll cover in a little bit. And it's got to be because of Jose. He called it out. He's called it out multiple times. And we'll go over in a bit. There's sort of a through line here. They have a new name and it's trademarked and everything. And yeah, you have to think our guy Jose just roasted there. Like, who came up with that, dude? I wonder who comes up with those things, I wonder who come up with a name like Lucha Stars. So more on that in a bit. Triple H's thoughts. So Grok is meaner than anyone on the internet. So they asked Grok to roast Tony Khan. And Grok's like, all right, let's take a swing at Tony Khan, the wrestling world's resident trust fund kid with a passion for booking matches like he's playing WWE 2K on easy mode. Whoa, geez, Grok gonna take my job. You know what I mean, dude? Once they have proper text-to-speech, I'm cooked, Stealing my whole gimmick here. No. Grok, I was going to say he, but it's a machine, goes on to say, this guy's got more money than sense, running All Elite Wrestling like it's a vanity project fueled by his dad's checkbook. This sounds like the wacky synopsis to like a B comedy that some comedian from the 80s does on their way out of the game. You know what I mean? This guy's got more money than sense, running All Elite Wrestling like it's a vanity project fueled by his dad's checkbook and a dangerous cocktail of Red Bull and delusion. He's out here tweeting like a 14-year-old fanboy who just discovered the internet, hyping every show. Oh my God, this is so long. Whatever. His shows feel like a chaotic indie card where everyone gets a turn, but nobody knows why. He's the type to call himself a genius for putting together a match that sounds cool on paper, like a dream match between two guys who peaked in 2012, but then it ends up a 20-minute spot fest with no story and a screwy finish. It's Jim Cornette. And let's talk about this wardrobe. My man dresses like he's perpetually late for a Zoom call with his accountant, right? Just cutting a promo is Grok, dude. Sign him. That scarf isn't fooling anyone, Tony. You're not a mysterious auteur. You're just a dude who thinks disheveled millionaire is a vibe. It's a vibe. It's a vibe. Yeah. Oh my God. Stick to buying sports teams and let someone else steer the ship before AEW becomes the wrestling equivalent of a midlife crisis. Is it not already that, if nothing else, though, Grok? So Swerve Strickland shares his take on AEW versus WWE and why fans don't have to pick sides. It's like, tell that to your boss, bro. Well, Tony's been staying out of the mix with that, but he's never addressed like, oh, I talked and I shouldn't have, oh, gee, oh, golly, oh, boy. He goes, Swerve says, it's almost like you get the big box office's movies. That's not what he said. That's got to be a typo, okay? It's almost like you get the big box office's movies and all that stuff over there, but over there you don't get green screen. You don't get wires. What the is he talking about? Can you friggin' act? That's what AEW is. You have to act in order to perform in our films. We're A24. Are you kidding me? The performances and acting have to be pristine. No, they don't. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. You can enjoy both. Yes, you can. And both are successful. That's the beauty of it. Yeah, well, I mean, success is in the eye of the beholder. No. Yeah, I mean, I guess, yeah. It depends how Tony defines success, right? I know you're successful at increasing your bank account, and that's success to a lot of people, is what's in my bank account, you know? To others, like Tony, I don't think he cares about that, really. But anyways, Post Wrestling says that AEW is not combat sports. So this is via Louis Silberwasser, CEO of TNT Sports, on the Varsity podcast, who says AEW is not combat sports. It's sort of a hybrid between entertainment and sports. So we don't consider that 100% sports. So combat sports like UFC, which is a fantastic property, has perked our interest. WBD talking like they're going to get on the UFC train around. They just had to sell that Looney Tunes movie. So a Looney Tunes movie nobody heard of came out, right? That some company like paid them for to distribute in theaters. And then now there's another, and then that John Cena one with like Will Forte and like the Coyote versus Acme or whatever and the Roadrunner. That same company paid them like $50 million, I think, for the rights to distribute that movie with John Cena in it. So it's coming out now. And yeah, I absolutely think that's hilarious. It just speaks volumes. But yeah, they want a piece of that UFC pie, I guess, now. But yeah, AEW, they don't even consider it a sport. The CEO of TNT Sports. So when Dave's like all 30% because the NFL, it just debunks all that automatically. Well, other sports, whatever the top sport is, Brian, they're, I don't know. He just doesn't know what he's talking about. Ricochet says, we do listen to our fans. We covered this before. We're going to get into Ricochet versus JD round 2. Oh, so Bleacher Report to AEW fans today. So Bleacher Report's like John Cena today. Them kids, right? But Bleacher Report, a sports media company, is owned by WBD, which acquired it from Turner Broadcasting System in 2012. Okay. Oh, so Meltzer said what's just taking a jab at them. Okay, there we go. So again, Omaha will recover. Hopefully, you guys see there. Dynamite's in Omaha currently. Ricochet is making his way to the ring. And yeah, this is a trash bin in Omaha where the AEW title was last seen. They're in Omaha tonight where the AEW title will be crowned. It's going to come out all broken up and like with paper mache on it, like the hardcore belt. And Edge is going to wear it. Do you guys think they cop out and make like a R plate in the middle, rated R superstar, and they do it like the WWE belt where they put like a plate in the middle? You think AEW has a new title design and that's what this whole thing's been about? They already do the side plates. They already copied that from WWE. But yeah, pretty crazy. They're back in Omaha. AEW have changed Hologram and Commander's official tag team name from the Lucha Stars to Los Titan del Air. So I don't know what that means. The Air Titans, I'm going to assume, right? Or air, I don't know. Air, obviously that's not what air is. Yeah, so that's dumb. I can look up what air means in Spanish, but someone will tell me ayer. I'm probably pronouncing it wrong. However, way better name, okay? Way better. Yeah, I'm just glad that someone got through. Like at least this has some creativity to it. Right now, somebody might be like, it translates poorly and it's dumb. And okay, that's a whole other conversation. But this at least is like an attempt at something creative other than the Lucha Stars, bro. That sounds like a tag team that's spurned off of Lucha House Party. Like two of the guys from Lucha House Party get disgruntled and they're like, we're the Lucha Stars. That's what that sounds like. That's just terrible. Terrible. So Jose did that for sure. He just called him out for that. I mean, come on now. The gauge. So here's the Nielsen gauge, February 2025, US viewing share. Now this gets real into the nitty gritty, but you guys can see we have a chart. We like charts here. So here's other streaming is 6.2%. So let's look here. YouTube is 11.6, just dominating. Netflix is also doing so good, 8.2. Disney 4.8. Prime, Roku, Tubi, Peacock, Paramount, Max, 1.2% of the streaming share of the market. Do you know what I mean? You literally see people saying, Collision did 400K or Dynamite might be close to Raw. Like that's what Meltzer's trying to paint it out to be. Well, with Max, it could touch Netflix. You guys, Raw's in the top 10 every week, number one in multiple countries. AEW, no, and this isn't to be like AEW, I just need to point out reality. Max is not even, see, this is what your boy MJ from NJ comes on here, right? This is what I wanted to see this whole time. What does this chart look like right here? So this is from Nielsen, the gauge, okay? Nielsen's total TV and streaming snapshot. And we're not on any of these. I like Paramount. A lot of watch Peacock. Tubi's cool. I got a Roku. I don't watch the Roku channel lots, but I use Prime. I use Disney. I use Netflix. I use YouTube. I don't really use YouTube video. I don't really watch movies on YouTube for whatever reason. That's not really my style. But for other stuff, Pluto's cool too. But yeah, you just got to look at it for what it is. 1.2% of the pie. Netflix has 8.2, which is damn near. It's like 3% higher than Disney even, which is Disney for sakes, you know, than the next thing to it. So it's just for Dave, who's like, I study the business and he wants to play numbers game. It's like, even if it was number one on Max, I don't even think it sniffs Netflix top 5 probably, you know, just being real about it, let alone broadcast. And the key demo, Brian. So Switchblade says Netflix, Max, and Peacock viewing share of Feb 2025, according to Nielsen. Max share is down 0.1 year on year. Peacock share is up 0.1 year on year. Netflix share is up 0.4. In other words, okay, listen. So in other words, Max is down 7.7%, Peacock is up 7%, and Netflix is up 3.6. My God, I've gone cross-eyed. I hate breaking this down. Boring. No, just kidding. It is interesting though, right? When you get it, when you want to play the game, it's all about that game. Let's do it, Meltzy Seltzy. We can learn. We're learning. He's like, by God, they're learning, right? We're learning. We're just studying the business, Dave. Is that all right, Brian? Okay. We just, well, you know, only I can study the business. Brian. Here you go, Dave. Here's the charts. This ain't going nowhere either. I'm just hanging on to this one for a minute, right? Here's something I've ranted and raved about on this show a number of times, but Ospreay went ahead and said this part. So I got to actually like tweet this out and put this out there like on X where other people see it who might not watch the show. So here's what Will Ospreay had to say about storytelling in AEW.
I do feel like AEW does have a different style to what every other pro wrestling company does, where we actually put the sole focus on pro wrestling, that the story is pro wrestling. It is about climbing the ranks, it is being the best.
That's what that's what the indies are for, bro. Right? So that's what the indies are for, first and foremost. Okay, bruv? But here's the other thing. So I wrote it out. That's the baseline story. What Ospreay just said is the baseline story for every single sport or contest ever. You're all trying to be the best and grind through the rankings and win the championship. That's hockey, football, wrestling, soccer, rugby, water polo, we know. What makes wrestling fun and cool is that unlike any other sports, you get to expand upon that and create the drama circumstances that toe the line of what's possible in sport. You get the privilege of the audience wanting to suspend their disbelief. If you're a weekly TV show, we need TV show shit. If you want to climb rankings and win chips for a shoot, get into MMA or something, bruv. And again, Ospreay probably hates my guts, but it just is what it is. It is what it is, man. I just got to keep it real about it, okay? So it's Wednesday. You know what that means. Don't miss Dynamite. So Tony Khan's like, final day of winter. There's a blizzard in Omaha. We have 3 huge Dynamite fights set for tonight. All advertised wrestlers are in Omaha now. It's like weird how you announce like this is what a struggling indie. Oh, you know, this guy didn't have gas money and it's like cold out. His car wouldn't start. So he didn't. You guys know what I'm saying? Someone asked Grok to roast Meltzer and it wasn't that good of a roast, honestly, because they're like, oh, he's too busy breaking down wrist locks. It's like, no, dude, break down wrestling moves and make them more believable and like they do in MMA. That's cool. That's not why people hate Meltzer. They hate him because he lies about it and is senile and is clearly just an agenda driven. It's like, dude, if you're not getting paid, that's the bigger fail. Like if it turns out he's not getting paid from AEW somehow, he doesn't understand. The gotcha for me is like, oh, he's not getting paid. He's really just redacted, you know? He's really just restarted, you know? So that's like the gotcha for me. It's not, oh, he's paid. I'd go, see, guys, weight off our shoulder. Told you, or not even told you, because I don't know. I don't even want to be like he's getting paid by them. I know I'm the guy who invented the whole 3% that everyone talks about, but I like that's not even a serious thing. That's just me saying like What else is it? It's a private company. Would you be shocked if they're like Meltzer? I mean, he was given 2.5%. You know, even MJ from NJ gives them the benefit of the doubt. He's like, what if Tony Khan goes and drops like 25K in subscriptions every month? You know, and that's more plausible too, I guess. I don't know. We're not trying to get conspiratorial like Dave will do all the time. But the point I'm making with I bet Dave owns 3%. It's like, there's got to be some incentive, right? And would you be shocked? I'd be more shocked if he didn't own 5% of the company. You guys know what I'm saying? Anyway, sorry. Triple H's thoughts response to Jason Solomon. Solomonster's got me blocked. So Solomonster says that Jeff Jarrett tells the Orlando Sentinel that he loves tribalism among wrestling fans. I embrace it because it is the nature of what pro wrestling is. Home team versus away, good versus evil, black, white, shades of gray. So many aspects of this world are super divisive and super tribalistic. But in wrestling, with that ability to evoke emotion, you create more chatter, you create more passion, and you create more revenue. Don't ever let anyone tell you promoters don't contribute to the WWE and AEW tribalism. Yeah, they're carnies, bro. Triple H's thought says Jeff Jarrett is speaking truth. Promoters love tribalism and eat that up. Yeah, absolutely. It's all a carny work at the end of the day. AEW has filed to trademark Titan del Air. Jose's he's gonna verbally smack me down in DMs. He's gonna be like, you butchered the pronunciation of that. Swerve Strickland says that wrestlers like Cody Rhodes and CM Punk gained more value because of AEW. Here's the thing. I'll say this.
Are you sure about that?
Cody Rhodes, for sure. Punk, I don't know. I don't know if he gained more value from that. Like if he came back at the same time, let's say he never went to AEW and he just showed up at that same event he showed up at, that Survivor Series, the crowd would have still melted down and died. You know, it still would have been the same thing. So the fact he was in AEW, I don't think it made him a bigger star, but like it gave him more clout as far in the wrestling to like, because here's how you know, because when Punk does the little jabs at AEW, the crowds don't pop in WWE. They don't give a shit. They care about like his past beef with them, and they already know, like, yeah, of course you're gonna go there and smack the Young Bucks around. I would too. You know, like 90% of the audience are like, yeah, I would have done the same. You know, so Punk is basically, yeah, you know, they would have popped huge when he say that AEW stuff, and same with Cody Rhodes when he alludes to the AEW stuff. No pops, they don't care. They'd pop huge for it. So, but Cody Rhodes for surely got more over. Like if he didn't do all that, he wouldn't have been. Vince wouldn't have been like, yeah, we're going to bring in, pal, at Stardust. Yeah, Punk, I don't know if it made him a bigger star, but it gave him more clout with like the sickos and the wackos as far as like, you'll really smack him, you know? Or like you went there, saw what that was all about and realized.